a podcast hosted by Joe Dietrich, Joe on the mic, Leader Talk. Yeah. All right, guys, we are back on our next episode, and I am so excited to have Susan Hernandez come in with us. And man, she's going to be dropping some knowledge, sharing some of the stuff that she's doing, Father God. That I said, Father God, we're praying again, and pray and showing, the people out there, adults, parents, teenagers, that look, you can find a path to success while you're in your high school years and your college years. And that's what Susan's all about. Let me read her bio real quick. Susan Hernandez worked at Adelante Youth Alliance beginning in 1998 as a board member, organizing volunteer and workshop presenter starting in 2000, the year 2000. She presented workshops for the annual Adelante Education and Career Conference on entrepreneurship. And for 9 years, she presented a personal development workshop she developed entitled What color are your wings? 3 keys to choosing your education and career. That's super exciting. And Susan graduated from California State University, Los Angeles, and holds a bachelor's of arts in liberal studies and a master's of science in public administration. And she has 2 businesses. She published her new book, Keys to Success for High School and College Students, in July of this year, in 2023, and currently serves at her church as an ordained minister. Mostly, Susan loves helping people achieve their dreams and discover purpose in life. Welcome, Susan. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thank you for having me, Joe. So excited.
Excited. Man, I'm so excited. We met not too long ago at a mastermind.
Yes.
And you shared with me your book where you wanted to, you said, look, I want to help youths. I want to help college students. I want to help high school students. And that's where you came up with the keys to success for high school and college students. And it says, your path to finding life-changing answers to your future in education and career. Man, that is a lot, because our youth, they need that guidance and direction and mentorship, and they're hungry for it. So tell us a little bit more about yourself, besides what we presented in that bio, and what birthed in you to come up with this book.
Wow. So basically, in a few short words, I'm an author, new author, speaker, and coach. And, my goal really is to, in doing all that, being an author and speaker coach, it is to inspire and motivate students of any age, really, but high school and college, which is what my book talks about in particular, to realize their God-given potential and to be able to achieve their goals and dreams, and sometimes even goals and dreams that they're not even aware of yet, or that they even think possible for their life. So they see other people achieving things, but there's something inside them that has happened, or somebody's told them something that they don't even think that that's possible for them. And my goal in doing all this is really to inspire them and motivate them and help them realize they can be all those things that they desire to be, or that they see other people doing. They can do it as well. That's really how I want to inspire young people.
Wow. And I know, me growing up, as back in the day, I wish I had you in my life when I was growing up, because I needed someone. Now, my parents, they're great. Nothing against them at all, but they were working hard.
Sure.
To provide a shelter over our head, food on a table. So they were working a lot. So I was at home twiddling my thumbs or getting in trouble. Okay. So, so I know, right? But to have a book like this, to walk into people's lives, it's life changing.
It is.
So it is. Yeah. So, well, now you're saying something about for them to see what they don't even see yet. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Because I know when I was younger, I didn't know my potential.
Right.
Can you speak to our young people out there, even the parents, about how they might be able to see what their kids don't even see and inspire them.
Right. Well, the reason why, so I wish I had me when I was a teen. I wish I would have had my book. I wish my mom would have had the book that I've just written. That was one of the reasons why I got involved with the Adelante Youth Alliance, because I heard about people that were out there trying to help. In particular, for this education and career conference, it was for Latino youth. Mm-hmm. And I had such a strong burden, not only being a Latina myself, but also knowing what that was like to be a teen that had no idea what I wanted to do with my life. And my mom was great as well. You know, she was a single mom, and you know, later got married, and you know, tried to do her best, was going back to school herself, but she really didn't have the knowledge to be able to help and guide me, because she was just trying to figure her way out as well, right? So just a little bit about my family background. My mom had me at 15, and today my mom is a professor of education. She's retired now, but because she had no direction, because nobody had told her what she could achieve in life. In fact, at that time, back in the, I guess you would say like early 60s, she was made to believe that all she would ever do was maybe be a receptionist or a secretary. She was not encouraged to go to college. And so she did not know how to guide me. And so as a youth, as a teen, I always felt like other people that knew what they wanted to do in their life or what they were going to do after they got out of high school, I always felt like there was something special about them. Like they had some kind of a secret that nobody had let me know about. And I never could answer the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? Or what are you going to do when you get out of high school? And I find that, you know, all these years later, that when I meet young kids, young students, high schoolers, those that are going to graduate, it's happened to me at my church. I'll hear about a young person, a teen, they're graduating, you know, they just graduated, and I'm excited for them. And I go, hey, you know, because I can see their potential. Mm-hmm. I can see how great they are, right? I say, hey, what are you going to do now that you've graduated? And they're like, I don't really know. Oh, what are you going to study in college? Or I'm going to go to college. What are you going to study in college? I don't. And so you see this uncertainty. All of a sudden, their shoulders drop. Their smile disappears. Their eyes, you see this little bit of uncertainty in their eyes. And my gosh, that hurts me so much for them, because that was me. And I don't want anybody to feel what I felt. And so I don't even know if I'm answering your question. Now I forgot what the question was. But yes, for me, that is paramount, to be able to help any young child, student, college student, even transitioning adults, be able to realize their God-given potential, all the things that make up who they are. My book talks about is a guide, really. Basically, it's just a simple formula to help them connect the dots so that they can figure out, this is who I am. This is what makes me special. These are my passions. These are my abilities. This is my personality. And basically, with those simple steps, the 3 keys that my book talks about, it basically holds their hand to help them go from uncertain to, oh, I can do that. And so I have seen students and parents who have seen their child go from afraid and not knowing what to do with their lives to like, oh my God, they're so happy. They feel so much better. They're going into college now, so much more certain of what they want to do. And so that's like I say, I kind of forgot what you asked
Oh,
me. But,
no,
yeah.
I love hearing the background because there's always a birthplace for whether it's a book, whether it's a podcast, whether it's somebody going into speaking.
Yes.
And the birthplace of that, and from what we're hearing, is that look, you were in a place of the unknown,
Hmm.
and because you were in the birthplace of the unknown, it was kind of, and it wasn't. I'm not saying it's the fault of your mom. It's that your mom was in a position where she couldn't provide that at the time,
Right.
and so, and having a child at a young age, she was trying to figure everything out coming into her space of who she understands of who she is, and trying to raise you. And that's what birthed this book,
Yes.
to help other teenagers or young folks to, like, when they step out of college, hey, they got some sort of idea, hey, this is might be my next steps. So but the original question was, is like, how can a parent,
Mhm.
or maybe even another sibling, an older brother, can help an individual see like their potential. Like
Hmm.
what's one little tip that, like, hey, look, there's more to you than just this,
Right.
so
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. So I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but yeah. So basically, what I was mentioning was that. So one of the things that I help the reader understand is that and what I call it in my book is your apps, your APPS.
Ah.
So A stands for your abilities. So, for instance, if a person does not know what their abilities are, let's just say that a student is really good. Okay, I'll take myself for an example. And I write about this in the book. So I tell just a little bit about myself in the book, so people understand that I understand their pain or their confusion.
Mm-hmm.
I was very good at drawing, very
Mm-hmm.
artistic. And so my mom, she could see that I was very artistic. And she used to tell me, she used to say, gosh, maybe you could go to college and study art. And so I would kind of look at her with those blank eyes and go, okay, and what am I supposed to do with that? I had no idea, right? And so I also had an ability to be able, I loved helping people. I used to sit with a neighbor who had a quadriplegic son, and I used to go and watch TV with him and color with him and just talk to him and just be a friend to him. And so I didn't realize that just the ability that I had to empathize with people or to be able to encourage or just talk to people, that I had this desire to help somebody feel better. I didn't know that that was an ability. That is a definite ability. And
Mm-hmm.
so what happens, whether a child or an adult or a young adult has an ability to help people, is artistic, is musically inclined, has the ability to plan, has the ability to strategize, has the ability to build, likes to use their hands, um, likes to decorate, likes to design. I mean, there's so many things. So in the book, I go through 100 and I think it's 104 different types of abilities. And
Wow.
the person goes through and has to check them off. And then they pick their top 5. And so what happens, Joe, the reason why I help the person or the reader to go through this process is because nobody's ever asked somebody, what are your abilities? And
Mm.
so nobody had ever asked me, what's my abilities, or what do you do really well that nobody else can do? In fact, sometimes people will think if they talk about it, they're being prideful or there's some,
Cool.
like you're being conceited or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
When in reality, all you're really saying is, I'm really good at talking with people. I'm really good at having conversation. I'm really good at writing. I'm really good at reading. I'm really good at doing videos or apps or playing games. I mean, so what happens is when we just kind of take those abilities for granted, a
Mm.
person, me, myself, and they go, well, everybody can do that. That's nothing. When in reality, not everybody can do. Not everybody can do what you do, Joe. Not everybody can do what I do. And not everybody can do what that reader can do. And until they go through that little exercise, very simple exercise, one of the first exercises, they don't know. They don't know what their abilities, they don't even know that those abilities are of any value or that they can be used and thought about
Mm.
like a tool to plan out their future education and their career.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
It's
Wow. Wow.
huge. It's huge. It's a huge eye opener. And
Mm-hmm.
I had an adult, one of the guys from my church, he read the book and he goes, can you help me? I'm going, I checked off all these checks. Matt might be like 24, 25. And he was like excited because he was like, wow, I'm good at this and I'm good at that. And I had to teach him, now you need to just claim it. Now you need to declare it. Now you need to say, yes, I am good at this. I am good at this. This is what God gave me so that I can be able to do something in the future with my life. He equipped me with these abilities so that I could make not only a living or just to make money, but make a living and have a good life and even provide for a family and leave a legacy behind. I mean, there's so much to it. So yeah, it
Mm.
opens doors for people. It opens their minds. It's like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. Guys, I hope you're taking notes. I always tell my audience, please take notes. Please take notes because God has given us creativity. God has given us ability, talents, and everything else like that. And I love what Susan is bringing because we all need a Susan in our life, right? And I'm glad that you put it in a book because you can only do so much, right?
Right,
But your book can go out there to thousands and thousands and thousands around the world,
right.
and then it creates a ripple effect. Yes, yes.
Yes.
And my goodness, if someone would have told me back in the day, hey Joe, you're artist, because I'm an artist at heart. I
Okay.
love drawing, I love painting things, making little creative stuff. And I wish someone would have cultivated that. My parents knew I can draw, right? They knew,
Yes.
and love them. They're such wonderful. My parents are love them to death. I got to squeeze them all day, because they loved us. They truly cared. But sometimes they can only do what they can do,
Right.
uh, and it's no fault to them.
Sure.
But when we can cultivate, and I love the way, because your book is helping people to highlight.
Yes.
All right, these are and now you said like 100. How many?
104, I think. If it's not
104.
104, it's 109. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure there can be a lot more too,
A
but
lot more,
a
yeah.
hundred is a lot. And it's like, man, I can translate this into, like you said, a living for my family, something that I can enjoy in doing, and
Hmm.
create a legacy.
Yes.
And it's so amazing, so amazing. But yeah, please, I don't want to take too much time. So now, once they highlight this, and I guess what would be kind of like, okay, the parent says, oh, look, you have all these talent, skills, and abilities. I learned this from this book. What will be kind of like the next step, like for you to talk, like if you're sitting down, hey Joe, now that you've gone through this 100 things, what is kind of the next step in your heart about this?
Well, the next step is the P in apps. So I went through the A. The next one is P. And then there's another P after that. So the first P is for your passions.
Oh.
So now the next exercise, simple exercise. I do all the work for you. I write them all down there and you just have to read them and put a check mark. Then we go through your passions. What are you passionate about? Are you passionate about animals? Are you passionate about building things? Are you passionate about gardening? Are you passionate about cleaning even? Are you passionate about public policy, making change, taking community action, seeing homelessness resolved, helping those that don't have food, helping foster children, helping those in, making a difference in the legal? What is your passion? And so a lot of times people, especially, and young people that maybe don't have as much experience, right, or haven't really been taught what a passion is. The easiest way that I can describe a passion, and I describe this in the book, Joe, is what is it that lights up your eyes? If you see me right now, my eyes are lit bright because I am talking about something I love. Not only do I love helping people, but man, it excites me to see the I'll say it in Spanish, but the foco go on, the light bulb go on in a person's mind, and you see it in their eyes. And so one way that you can tell that you're passionate about something is your eyes just light up and your voice gets fast and you get excited and you start talking a little bit louder, and it seems like you could talk about this forever, and people even tell you, all right already, like, but
Yep.
And so, but you could just talk and talk. And sometimes you hear people talk about fashion that way, or movies that way, or music that way, or opera that way, or acting that way. I mean, there's so many things. So I take them through a list of passions. They do the same thing. They check them off. They choose their top 5. And so that would be the next step. This is the hand holding. I've taken you through your abilities, the first letter in apps. Now we're going to take you to your passions. The other part that you can tell if you're passionate is what brings tears to your eyes. What makes you get that lump in your throat? What makes you hurt? What makes you not be able to sleep at night? What is it that you see or hear about, maybe even on the news or something? You read in an article on the internet, or something you see on Instagram or wherever it may be. Right? There's so many different media sources now where you can get information, but you read about something and you want to cry, or you want to give money, or you want to get on a plane, and you say, for instance, you want to get on a plane and you want to go help those people in Maui who are now homeless, or you want to donate clothes or blankets or food or money. So it could be that you're passionate about, the sea, the environment, our air, astronomy. My husband loves astronomy, the planets. He can sit there and I'm like, holy moly, like, you're going to watch astronomy about the planet, but he loves it, right? And so what is it that either brings that overwhelming joy to you, or what is it that causes your heart to hurt? And that's how you know you're passionate about something. And when you figure that out, then you go, oh my God, like, I'm really good at this. I'm really good at art. And let's just say I'm really good at art. I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm really good at art. And I really love working with kids. I feel bad for kids. I feel bad for kids that have been abused, or, been through the foster care system, or whatever it may be. So now I'm going to use the knowledge that I know, that I like helping people with my art. Now I'm going to look on the internet, and I take you through the process. I hold your hand, helping you connect the dots. What kind of job can I get if I am very good at art and I like to work with children? All these jobs pop up. All these jobs pop up. All these careers pop up. And then I take it further, where it's like, okay, you can figure out how much money you can make in that. You can figure out how much education you need for that, how much preparation you need for that. So I hold your hand, because I've always believed, For some people, it's very easy to figure out. For others, they just need a little bit more guidance. And that's what the book is there for, to give them the guidance. I'm holding your hand and I'm helping you connect the dots to get from A to B to C.
Mm.
Yeah.
That is so good. That is so good, because a lot of times, people have a passion, right? And they're running around and really don't know what to do with that passion. And then they get frustrated because they don't know what to do with it. But I love the way that you marry the abilities with the passion.
Yes.
Because a lot of times, abilities without a passion is still chaos.
Yes.
And then passion without abilities is still chaos as well.
Yes, I like that.
Because it just but when you marry the both of them together and just combine them in such a way where you're showing them, hey, look, there's these steps, put it together, then it's like, wow, that's where the true synchronicity, the true magic, if you want to say magic, happens, to where it's like, now we can get a little bit more focused here.
Yeah.
A little bit. I know you got another P and another S coming. But
no S, just
no
P.
S, just P, just two P's. Okay, I've got one more P left. But I want people to marinate on this for a little bit.
Yeah.
Because this is a lot to take in, because that in and of itself, understanding, having somebody to guide you with your abilities, and then also say, hey, look, these are your passions.
Yeah.
Now let's put these things together here, and then, man, it'll gel into something that, hey, you can actually do something with this.
Yeah. Yeah. This is where the light bulb goes on, and it's like, holy moly, like, really? I have all this inside me. Again, this is the God-given potential. I have abilities. God gave me a heart to feel, passions to feel. I love the way you said it. And I want to ask you if I can use that in the future to marry the abilities with the passions, which creates the true magic and the synchronicity. I love it. That's beautiful. That's just so well put. Like, I need to add that to my book, Joe.
Hey, go for it. Go for it.
I will do that. But so let me just go over that last P for anyone that will be listening. The last P is your personality. Oh my God, your God-given personality. Such a beautiful thing, right? You might have wondered why people sometimes think that there is something wrong with them because they don't want to go into a big group of people, or other people will think that somebody else is just like they like to hog all the attention because they don't mind being in front of a group and they're the life of the party and they're joking and they just come in and kind of take over, maybe even take over like with a group or a project or something. There's other people who are very risk driven, and people are like, you're crazy, like, I can't believe you want to do that. And there's other people are like, no, that's okay. I just want to stay home. I just want to work in my little office. I just want to work in my cubicle. And
sometimes that's me.
Right. But you know what? That is personality. And when you know your personality, Joe, you can go into a lot of times what happens is people will get jobs or go into a career because somebody has suggested it, or that's how much, they can make a bunch of money, and, they're just, their idea is that they want to make a bunch of money. But what happens is they actually go into a job that is not fit for their personality, and they're very unhappy, and they're very uncomfortable, and it's kind of like trying to put a square peg in a round hole, and they keep trying to be what their boss or their coworkers or their colleagues are, and it just doesn't fit. And I'll give you another example. I wanted to sell. I wanted to be able to sell houses, and I wanted to be able to sell cosmetics and all this stuff. And I just thought, oh, I'm gonna make a bunch of money by selling houses. I hated it. And when it came to even selling cosmetics, it was like, oh my God, I was just so uncomfortable. But I had this thought, I was going about it the wrong way and just thinking about the amount of money that I could make rather
Mm.
than basing it on where was I going to be able to shine? Where was I going to be able to work well? And so it is so important that a person realize their personality, not only to help them in their work, but to help them with their fellow workers
Mm.
and to be able to when you go work someplace, and I teach this in the book, your employer wants to know about you. And when you can tell them, I work really well by myself, I am a self-starter, I don't need anybody to be watching over me, just tell me what you want and the due date you want it, that is a certain personality type.
Mhm.
So if you tell them I'm a leader, I can lead a group. I love big groups. I know how to delegate. That's what the
Mm.
employer wants to hear. And when you can say that, boy, you show your confidence in who you are, but also you give that employer a really good feeling about, like, this person really knows who they are. I've got a
Mm.
good person here. So, yeah.
Wow, wow, wow. Man, this is amazing. This is a wonderful, wonderful book. And again, just for anybody out there, it's called The Keys to Success for High School and College Students, Your Path to Finding Life-Changing Answers to Your Future Education and Career. Boom.
Yes.
And I
Yes.
like the cover too. It's a very nice cover.
Yes. There you go. It's kind of
And it's kind of shiny, but yeah, yeah, we can see it right there. And man, it's so, so awesome. This is great because yeah, personalities matter,
amen.
and it's also very very comfortable to know that, hey, my personality type is who I am, and I can also flourish in that personality type, even though this person over here might be making fun. It's like, look, they're making fun because they don't understand my personality type.
Right, right.
And
Hmm.
that, and you know what, and that they're trying to understand who they are. Maybe that's why they're making fun of me. That's a deeper subject in and of itself. It's
Yeah,
like
right.
understanding who you are, being
Yes.
comfortable in your own
Be
personality.
comfortable in your skin.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a big
Yes.
deal. Now,
Yes.
before we end our show, Susan, I want to make sure to for our audience to know how they can reach you on social media, how they can reach you to get your book, a copy of it, if you can let them know, please.
Yes, sure. I am working on my website. This is all pretty new for me. So, but you can reach me through Facebook, Susana Hernandez, and is my name. And that's just my Facebook, Susana. In fact, it's Susana.m.Hernandez1. And then my Instagram is Susana, easy, Susana_M_Hernandez. And yes, and you can get the book through Amazon. It is on Amazon through either Kindle or paperback. And so, yeah, Joe, my goal is to get this into parents' hands, because more likely it's going to be the parent that is hurting for their child, that
Mm.
is looking for answers of how can I get help for my child. It could be a college student that is just saying, man, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. Like, I'm paying all this money. That's the other thing. With knowing about your apps, Joe, you save time, money, energy, and pain by
Mm.
being able to have these answers. So many people go into college taking classes and they're not sure. My niece changed her major 5 times. How
Wow.
much money do you think that cost her by
Oh.
changing her major 5 times before she ended up with an engineering degree? And so it does help to save time, energy, money, and the pain of uncertainty. And so I don't want anybody to struggle. I don't want parents to feel that they don't have a place where they can go get answers for their kids. And the other thing is, I dedicate this book to all teachers, mentors, counselors, youth group leaders, people that work with kids camps and in prisons, and anybody that works with a young person that is just trying to help them find a path forward. And this is my goal. This is my goal in going and speaking at high schools, speaking at colleges, speaking to youth groups. I am happy to do that wherever I can do it, because I just want our youth to have that hope, to know who they are, the potential that they have, and that they are a masterpiece.
Mhm.
They are God's masterpiece, and He equipped them with everything that they need to be able to succeed in life and achieve their dreams. That's my goal, Joe. That's my goal with all this.
That is so, so wonderful, man. And you guys, you can feel Susan's heart on this, to touch our youths so they can have a purpose, hope for the future, and know that the promises of God, where He says that, look, my plans are you for a future and a hope, for not for
Yes.
harm, but for blessings. And so, guys, guys, get her book. Oh, by the way, her links and her Facebook page, to her Instagram, and her book are going to be in the description below. So go ahead and check it out. Click on the book, get it. Hey, look, and sometimes it might not even be for you. Maybe it's a parent that that's struggling with their child, to give their child some direction and hope. Get the book. Send it
Yes.
to them. Send it to them
Yes.
as a gift, to say, hey, look, man, I heard about this book, and man, maybe it can help you out to just, help clarify, see some things in your child so they can start flourishing in life and have a purpose and direction,
Absolutely.
or a youth group. Get the book for a youth group. Sign
Yes.
up. Like if you got a youth group of 10 kids, man, purchase 10 books
Yes.
and send it over to them.
Yes, I've had aunties buy it for their nieces, nephews, grandparents buy it for their grandchildren. I've had a retired teacher buy a few just to have them on hand, so that when she runs into one of her old students,
Mm,
it's just a really great tool. And it's not that thick. I made it purposely very easy so that it's not heavy for anyone.
mm.
It's just easy.
Yeah. So before we go, Susan, before we go, I always ask my guests, hey, look, is there any last words that's on your heart that you want to share with our audience? And if you could just share what's on your heart right now for our people before we hit end the episode.
The biggest thing for me, and just to tell you, just to kind of like get help you to understand why I'm saying this, is that I suffered with 40 years of depression. God
Mm,
healed me from that, but He healed me from that when He helped me to realize what my purpose in life was. That my purpose was to help people. And youth has always been, probably because I remember what it was like to be that youth that felt like she had no direction, no hope, no purpose in life. I actually used to sit there and ask God, I don't understand why you put me on this earth. And so now I do. And that's why I'm so filled with so much joy. So my message to anybody that's listening is, God has put you here for a purpose, with a purpose. Don't ever doubt that. You have all the potential in the world to be everything God has created you to be. Let me help you. Let me hold your hand and help you connect the dots. That would be my absolute joy.
oh my gosh. Hey, and if I could drop this mic, I would just mic drop it. That is so, so beautiful. That is so beautiful. And I know people are feeling your heart in this, feeling your passion to just help those people. And guys, look, if you have any messages for Susan, send the messages to me, or you can go straight to her Facebook page. Like I said below, send her a message, share the love, show appreciation to her, get her book. And again, thank you, Susan, for coming on. I
Oh,
appreciate
thank
you.
you. Thank you. I'm so honored. Really. Thank you, Joe, for this opportunity. Thank you, anybody who is listening. Thank you so much.
And like I say, folks, have a positive expectation of God's goodness in your life each and every day. See you on the next episode. So, hope you enjoyed this episode. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this podcast and share this podcast, because you need to get leadership tips out there, and have a positive expectation of God's goodness in your life each and every day. Hey, if you want to find out more about what I do, go to joedietrich.com. Go to joedietrich.com and see what we're up to. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.